Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn. This is integers 1.1. What are integers? So first let's have a look at negative numbers. Where do we see them in real life? This is a temperature, minus 17 degrees. We have golf scores, the lower the better, and minus 11 is lower than minus 10. Here we have altitudes, so above sea level you see plus 1025, below we count into the negative numbers. Here we have some lift buttons to go below ground, so 0 would be ground level, below ground you have negative 1, 2 and 3. And here we have some poor devil's bank balance, name Ivan Overdraft, he's in the negative. Okay, he spent too much money. Integers. The integers are all the whole numbers, positive, negative, and 0. Okay, so whole numbers again are full numbers, nothing in between, no 2.5 or 1.1. They must be full whole numbers. We are including now the positive numbers, which of course are the natural numbers, the negative numbers, and also 0. We use the letter Z for the set of integers. And Z equals, and here we've it written in maths, the ... shows that it goes on forever in both directions. Okay, the negative numbers 0 and the positive numbers. Let's recall your set symbols. We saw these when we looked at natural numbers. So we have the one that looks like an E, this means is an element of, and the one that has a line through it means is not an element of, does not belong to a set. So 2 is an element of Z. 2 is an integer. It is a whole number, it is positive. Minus 256 is an element of Z. It is a whole number, it is negative. 1000 is an element of Z. 8.99 is not an element of Z. It is not an integer because it is not a whole number. Minus 5 is an element of Z. 0 is an element of Z. So this time we include 0. 2/3 is not an element of Z. 2/3 is not a whole number. It's part of something. It's between 0 and 1. It's not a whole number. And minus 1.09, again, it's not a whole number, is not an element of Z. Now we're going to consider the number line. I'm going to begin with the example of a thermometer. It's a visual example we can understand. So 0 is neither positive or negative. There you have 0 degrees in this case. Positive numbers are greater than 0, or bigger than 0, or higher than 0. We don't usually write the plus for positive in front of positive numbers, but you can. Plus 5 is a greater number than plus 2. So plus 5, you see on the thermometer, is a higher or greater number than plus 2. There's plus 2. Negative numbers are less than or smaller than or lower than 0. Minus 1, we see here on the thermometer, is a greater number than minus 5. If you think that minus 1 is warmer, if we're talking about temperatures, minus 1 would be warmer. It's a higher temperature than minus 5. Okay, and minus 4, there's minus 4, is less than minus 3. It's lower than minus 3, or in temperatures, it's colder than minus 3. There's minus 4, there's minus 3. Think of the numbers as moving up and down from 0. Now, usually we don't use a thermometer, we use a horizontal number line. So instead of going up and down, we go left and right of 0. We can begin in the middle at 0, and this is sometimes called the origin. The word origin means where do you start. To the right, numbers increase or get bigger and get higher into the positive numbers. So the numbers are going up, we say this way. Okay? To the left, numbers get smaller or get less. Okay? So numbers to the right are greater and numbers to the left are less. So greater than and less than. I've been using these words already. Here is the mathematical symbol. Greater means greater than. It looks kind of like an arrow and it is pointing to the right. Of course, that was the direction of the positive numbers. Less than is shown by this arrow symbol in the other direction to the left. Okay, so always remember that right is for greater than and left is for less than. So for example, the number 2 is here. It is greater than 0 because 2 is to the right of 0. 9 is here and it is to the right of 4. So we read 9 is greater than 4. Number 3 is here. Minus 1 is here. So 3 is greater than minus 1. It's to the right of it. Now, some negative numbers. Minus 2 is here. Minus 7 is here. Minus 2 is to the right. So minus 2 is greater than minus 7. So 1 is here. And it is to the left of 8. So we read that it's less than 8 or smaller than. The next one, minus 3, is to the left of 0. It's below 0. So minus 3 is less than 0. Next one, minus 10. It's way down here. It's less than minus 4. Yes, it is. There it is. Okay. And minus 4 is less than minus 2. It's to the left. Okay. So take some time to read through those yourself and you'll be practicing them in the written exercises. Now you do it. Check that you've understood the lesson by doing the forms quiz called Integers 1.1 and practice by doing the written exercises on integers. Here's your glossary for today. Thanks for listening.